So, can you please state your name and title of the company for the camera, please? Just face it.
Look it. Okay, right. My name is Amit and I'm the president and the CTO of the company.
All right. And how do you spell that?
Spell what? My
Your
name?
name.
Your last name?
Last name Goffer, Goffer.
Okay. So, before we start with really any questions, we would really appreciate it if you could answer in statements. If I asked what your position of the company is, you'd say, my position of the company is, and you'd continue.
Well, I'm not an American guy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Israeli, so I speak and write short.
Okay.
So this is kind of.
Okay. So, first, we would like to ask, how was the invention developed?
How I came into the idea also. I myself became 1997, January, in this situation of wheelchair. And then I was already an entrepreneur. It's not the first company that I founded. So I was wondering, how come wheelchair is the only solution? So I go to this mission of building this thing.
And so, can you just kind of walk us through the development process?
Well, first, I looked into two main, very important issues. One is whether or not there is a big market for that, because if there is no big market, no use to do anything. You know, in Africa, they don't have money for buying the HIV medicine, so they die by millions. This is the word. Sad, but it is the word. So the market is huge. This is one thing. The other is the physics, whether with the small batteries and the whole idea of tilting and measuring the center of gravity and so is physical, is possible. And this was the first thing. And then it was helped by the country, which is the chief scientist. He takes the risk by splitting the expenses at the beginning. And they so started to build it at home, in the garage, really, and started to walk a little group of three, two boys and a girl, paraplegics, I mean paralyzed waist down, and when it was success, I mean the device worked, then I joined the Technion incubator and continued to develop it there.
And so, what was it like being paraplegic before you started using Rewalk?
Well, I never was completely. I'm quadriplegic. I mean, my hands also are not functioning very well. I couldn't really think about myself because it's more like you cannot. I mean, I was all into this business of developing the device, so I didn't have time, feel sorry for myself that I cannot use the device because I'm a quadriplegic. Now we're working with that, they're not. Um, just, it was just,
But was it ever frustrating, or
no, really not frustration, nothing.
just after you were paralyzed, you didn't feel frustrated?
For myself,
Yeah, for yourself. For yourself.
regardless the device,
Yeah.
regardless, of course. I mean, the process of being injured like that, you go very deep. I mean, very deep. It's like you have to climb from a very, very deep hole, when they say. But yes, friends, family, everything. You can.
And so, can you? So you mentioned before that third world countries, you couldn't really. There wasn't. Is there a market in third world countries?
I didn't mean that. I mean that in this world, if there's no money or market for a product, then no matter how wonderful the product is, no use of developing it because no one can buy. I gave, as an example, I gave Africa, for example, yes, that they don't have money to buy the HIV medicines. So this is very sad, and they die by millions. No one care. So this is first thing I checked whether or not there is a market.
And so, what is the market?
Oh, huge market.
But where I mean,
Well, what I checked is the market of the Western world, like the U.S., U.S., Canada, and Western Europe. Um, but even the East Europe is very large. The Russians and Turkey, which is not Europe. Well, the market is large.
and so, since you've developed the device, how has it personally changed your life?
I'm busy from morning to night with the device, including weekends. It's a lot of work. But that was where I used to work anyhow, before I got injured. So it really didn't change my life. Let's say it was kind of wonderful rehabilitation for a guy like me, working. I used to work very hard. I got injured, I couldn't work, and then after a couple of years, I worked again very hard. So,
So, if you don't mind, would you mind telling us how you got injured?
well, there is a recreational vehicle, a little tractor, um, and the one that go in the fields and so. I tried it only once. I didn't like it to begin with, but the children insisted. So only once, and we rented something like that. My son was ahead of me with his vehicle, and I was very slowly and so. But the braking system didn't work. So when I pressed the braking system, the whole device went around and bumped again a tree, and I flew uh, like a bird, but I'm not a bird, through the through the tree.
So,
Sorry, one question. How does it feel knowing you helped so many people with this invention? Has it changed the way you feel about yourself or what you've done?
Myself, not really, but this is a great reward. When companies, investors will come in and ask what the policy of the company regarding
so
exit,
if you could just
regarding
face
okay,
me
sorry,
when you answer.
regarding the exit or so, then I said, "Well, you're asking the wrong person. I don't really care about exits and stuff like that. That the investors care. My reward is to see the family of the injured or the disabled person. This is something that each time, you have to wipe your eyes, how many tears. The family, the children. That's it. Did Radit tell you about his children?
Yeah.
I mean, children and the families and the person himself or herself walking, it's something that rewarding beyond any, I think.
What was the feeling you got the first time you saw someone stand up and use the device? What did
It
you
was
personally
in my garage, and I didn't feel much because I was very, very focused on the safety of the person that walked the first time. I gave my children, two of them, I gave them, mission to disconnect if something happens or press the reset or something like that. So very, very focused. And then I was told that the person that walked, he had tears in his eyes. But the real excitement, the real was when I saw families, parents.
And so, has there been any blowback at all because it's been developed in Israel by an Israeli? Is there any international view that this device is somehow?
Because we are far in the Middle East and so, I never felt any resentment against the device or us because of that. There were amazing things regarding that. That in Arab countries, they represented the device. Only one of the representative, the first three that walked in my house, one of them was a girl, very young lady, and they covered her face with black spot. And I didn't understand. I mean, I didn't see it, but Radi, and we have two, as I told you, Israeli Arabs, Palestinians in our company. They saw it and understood, and were amazed. And Syria tried to negotiate getting 10 devices through the border at the north. I mean, the political and what you see through TV is one thing, and the field is different. Also, I heard it in Yemen. They also presented this, and I get all the time invitations from the Emirates, Bahrain, and other. Uh, so it's I think, global thing.